fly. Except you didn't really fix it, bro, because it's still sticking on.
Fuck this plastic thing, bro. There you go.
This is a cute dress.
You said it wasn't.
Okay. Hi guys!
What's up, people?
Welcome to our channel. I'm Stara.
Lucious.
Lucious. How romantic that time.
Yeah, great.
Lucious. This video is gonna be how we found out we were pregnant and our first trimester recap, even though I'm well into the second trimester, but had to get baby dad here on board to film this.
I was gonna film it. Damn.
Yeah, but you weren't really here, you know?
Yeah.
We had shit to do. We had to graduate and shit, you know?
No more school.
So,
Gotta pay these loans back.
I'm currently 25 weeks pregnant, the day that I'm filming this, June 8th. And we found out we were pregnant way back when. Actually, extremely early. The doctor even told me, like, you found your test was positive like 2 weeks before most people's tests are positive, even though I already knew. So we found out we were pregnant because I peed on a stick because I was 100% sure I was pregnant. And back in January, I was 100% sure I was pregnant. And I peed on the stick and it said, okay, so it was the plus sign kind, and this sign came up and I was like, oh, thank God, like perfect. And then like literally in the split second it took me to like say like perfect, I looked down and then this line had popped up and I was like, no. Maybe it's because it's been out, maybe because it hit the air weird. So I was like, no. So I was just sitting on the toilet by myself. I was in Atlanta, he was in Alabama. I ended up taking it by myself. And I was like calling his phone and he wasn't answering because we were arguing because I was very attitudinal because I knew I was pregnant and he wasn't listening to me. And I kept telling him, I'm pregnant, I know I'm pregnant. And he's like, no, your period's about to start. And I'm like, I'm telling you, I'm pregnant. And he's like, no, it's fine, like your period's gonna start. And here we are, pregnant, like I said. So we were arguing back and forth kind of throughout the day. I kept kind of like starting little arguments. I will admit that because I know I was like starting shit for no reason. But yeah, so I called him and he wasn't answering. So I went out to my best friend. We lived together in Atlanta and she was in the kitchen and she knew what I was doing in the bathroom, but it was like, we didn't talk about it first. I just kind of like grabbed it, went into the bathroom, closed the door. If I didn't say anything when I came out, we were gonna move on. And if I did, then we went from there. So I ended up saying like, I just went to her and I handed her the test and she was like looking at it and she was looking at it. She was looking at it for like kind of a long time. It felt like a long time. So I was like, and she looked up at me and she was like, I guess like she wasn't quite like registering what was happening. I guess that's what happens. Like she wasn't registering completely what was happening. And then I was crying when she looked at me. And I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna be a mama. And she was like, and she just hugged me and she was like, it's okay, don't cry. And she was like, what are these tears? So I know how to feel with you. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know what these tears are. And she was like, are we crying because we're really sad? Are we crying because we're happy and excited? Like, what are we crying for? And I'm like, we're just crying. We're just crying. And she was like, okay, we're just crying. And then he ended up calling me back. I missed it, I believe. And then I called him back and he was like, No, and she asked me, she's like, did you call Lucious? And I was like, no. I mean, I did, but he didn't answer, so let me go see. So I went to get my phone off the bathroom counter, and I came and I was like, he called me back, let me try to call him back now. So I called him back. I called him back, and he was like kind of smirking, and I was like, what are you smirking for? And I was like, I felt like he already knew at that point, because he knew I was gonna take the test. And he knew that we were arguing, and when we argue, I don't just start blowing him up out of nowhere to talk. I'd be like,
felt it in my gut.
I'd be like, you call me when you're ready to stop being stupid, you know? So because I was blowing him up, I feel like he already knew. And then I was like, why are you smirking? Like, why do you look like that? And he was like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, you're smirking, because he was on the phone, like literally like smiling, and I'm like, what are you smiling for? Like, we've been arguing, what's going on? Why are you so happy? And I was like, I'm pregnant. No, I was like, are you going to your room right now? And he was like, yeah, I'm on my way there, and smiling. And I'm like, what are you smiling for? Like, why are you being weird? And he's like, I'm not being weird. I'm like, you are acting weird. And I was like getting irritated, because I'm like, get to your room. You want to talk to people on your way. You want to say hi to your homies on your way. Just get to your room
They
and
on the
shut
way to
up.
my room. I can't just.
Yes,
walk
you
past them
can.
and say
Yes, you can. You can just block all that shit out and get to your room, so I can tell you that I'm pregnant.
television.
So he gets to his room, and I'm like, how was your day? Like, you know, we haven't really been talking. And he was like, it was good, blah, blah, I did this, that, and the third. And I'm like, okay, I'm pregnant. And then he was like, okay. And then we were just on the phone, and I was like, huh? And I was like, okay. And then we were just kind of on the phone, and I was like, and I just started crying. And then that's when he was like, oh, you're pregnant. I'm like, yeah, I just said that. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, should I take another test with you here on FaceTime? And he was like, yeah, go ahead. Because the test came with 2 in the pack. One that did the plus sign, and then one that did the digital, pregnant or not pregnant. So I didn't pee onto the stick. I peed in like a little cup, and it was still sitting there, because I knew I was going to take another one when he answered. So I had the little Let me open it. 1 sec.
You finish? I'll be right back.
Okay. But I'm gonna have to open that for you. Why would she leave her fob in her apartment? No, I have to open that for him. Yep. I know. That's why I don't know why you told me to keep going. So, yeah, it like registered for him that I guess that I was like actually pregnant, and then he was like, oh, okay. So I took the test, I went, I dipped the other test in the pee, and I put it in the camera, and like not even 10 seconds, it was like pregnant, like that was it. And I was like, oh, okay. And he was like, wow. And then how did you feel?
I was like, it was crazy because me and a group of friends, we were talking about it. Like, I was talking to them, like, of course, like, what I don't talk to her about, of course, if I talk to my friends, we talk about it, like, bro.
I mean, when I told you. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying that, but I'm saying, like, prior to that, like, we will talk about, like, you know, who next to have the baby, or, you know, how.
We weren't planning to have a baby.
We weren't planning.
It wasn't like.
It's just how me and my friends are, oh, he gonna have a baby next, bet, you know, like, you know, little small talk, goofy.
I definitely wanted to be married.
And then, like, I would talk to the homie Thomas and Nick about it, like, bro, she might be pregnant, I don't know, it feel like it, you know. I've been feeling weird, cravings, and feeling weird about when my body been changing and stuff. I don't eat the same, I don't act the same, she changing.
Yeah, because he's going through so much over there.
And then she called me, and then I was like, hey, what's up? Like, what's going on?
All awkward.
And then, I was like, what's up? And then she just started crying. And then she was like, I'm pregnant. I was like, I was like stuck, like, but the inside of me was just like pure joy, jumping and everything like that.
Is she gonna come in here?
Nah, I'm not sure.
I feel like
But I know she has a problem. But
I said she gonna come in here. I didn't say she had a problem. Go ahead.
but the outside of me was like stuck, like processing everything and stuff like that. But
Look outside.
it was a great feeling. I was truly happy.
You were happy right away?
Yeah. And it's like after I got off the phone with her, like I ran straight to the homeroom and I texted him. I was like code black. Like each code means something different. I was like code black. He's like bet don't lie. I got it there in like 2 seconds. Like I was like, bro, I'm freaking out. Not in a bad way, but I was just like, bro, like this is amazing. Like I'm about to graduate. She about to graduate. We're about to have a baby. You know. Whew. And then he was like, I'm about to be an uncle and all this stuff like that. But I was truly happy. Like, this is something I always wanted. Was like, you know, a family, you know, kids, everything like that. And, bless you.
Thank you.
But it's finally here, so it's really like a true blessing. I'm glad he's here. I'm glad he's coming. It's gonna be tall. You know, she tall, I'm tall. Based on the ultrasound, he already got long legs, so.
It's a storm brewing.
But yeah, I was excited. Like, I wanted to tell everybody, but I couldn't. So I only told like a selected few of friends, and it was only like 3 friends. And eventually, once it came past a certain couple of weeks, a few weeks, then I told everybody else.
I wanted to go to the doctor first because you take the test, but that doesn't always mean anything. It could just be like because your period's about to start and all this other stuff. So I was like, please just let's go to the doctor. So I was like, what do I do now? Do I just go on about my life now knowing that I'm pregnant? And so I was like, I don't know what to do. So I called the doctor and I'm like, I need a doctor's appointment because I think I'm pregnant. And she was like, well, did you take a test? And I'm like, yes, it was positive. I took 2. And she's like, okay, well, when was your last period? And I told her, and she was like, oh, you have to be at least 8 weeks along for us to see you. And I'm like, so what do I do until then? She was like, eat well and we'll see you then. And that was like weeks away. So I'm like, okay, I can go on with life, no problem, we can do this. And then the first trimester shit sank in. Cause I knew before I even took the test, I randomly one night really wanted some hummus. Carrots dipped in hummus. And
it's a nasty combination.
No, it's not, it's really good. And I wanted spicy hummus specifically. I had never had hummus before in my entire life.
Hummus is my thing. I love hummus and carrots.
I don't like carrots. I've never eaten carrots since I was a child. I don't like them. They don't taste good to me. I don't care if you... I already wear glasses. They're not gonna help me. It's too late. I don't care if you dip them in peanut butter. I don't care if you dip them in ranch. I don't care if you slice them and put them in salad. I'm not eating carrots. So that's his thing. So I'm like, why do I want this? And I'm like, F word, I'm pregnant. We went to a pizza place and he puts pineapple on his pizza, which is gross, but it's his thing. And I was like, can you close your pizza? Like the pineapples are really strong. And he was like, and like I look over and like he put our pizzas like on the floor in the back. So I'm like, no.
At that time I had the flu. I was really feeling
bad. He had the flu. So I went and got him medicine. And then I was feeling like a little sick. And he was like, take the medicine. And I was like, I'm not gonna take the medicine because I don't have a cold. And he's like, just take it so you don't get the flu. I'm like, I'm not. And in my head, I hadn't told him yet, but I'm like, I think I'm pregnant. So I know that cold symptoms are like an early implantation thing. So I'm like, I'm not gonna take the medicine. He's like, no, hun, just take it, you have to. So like I'm taking the medicine because I don't take medicine anyway, but I was like, okay, whatever, I'll try it. Poor baby's in there just drugged up because I'm not even sick. It goes away like quickly and I'm like, it's just because I was pregnant, but. And then but that's how we found out we were pregnant. We weren't even together. And I always told him, I will never, ever in life tell you I'm pregnant, except in person. And I did. I had to, because I wasn't going to see him again for like 4 weeks. And I couldn't hold it that long that I was pregnant. And I thought we were going to have to go to the doctor. So I'm like, you should come back to Atlanta because we have to go to the doctor because we're pregnant. But it didn't even register for him until I started crying. And once I started crying, he was like, oh shit, like, this is not a drill. This is real life, like.
This is the real thing.
Yeah. And he never really asked me like, so what are we gonna do? So what do you wanna do? Like, he never asked me that. He never like tried to like force abortion on, like it was never any of that, like.
In it to the end.
It was like, I think because we had talked about it before, like our feelings on kids, our feelings on if we ever got pregnant.
Day, like, yeah, basically, she asked me like, if I were to get pregnant, or, you know, are you against abortion or for it and stuff? And like, you know, of course, I'm not like, I'm against abortion overall, but of course, if there's like a certain situation where something happened, and I can understand you because of that situation. But if it's just two people in a relationship and she ends up pregnant or some sort, like, no, like, you shouldn't just.
Okay, well, we're not gonna attack people for not choosing to. There's nothing wrong if you want to get an abortion. It's your choice. It's your body. Do what you want to do. Do it as best.
No, I'm saying for us, like, ain't no abortion. Like,
but for us, it's not the right decision.
Like, if she would have said, I want to, we would have had a long debate.
Yeah. Like, it wasn't the right thing for us.
Yeah.
We are not going to tell people what they do with their bodies.
Oh, yeah, of course. It's like
none of our business
decision,
what you
your
do.
Body. But for this one, yeah, ain't no.
Yeah, I don't have a choice. Every kid I get, I better have. We don't care if we're on number 13, huh?
First of all, I said 6.
We agreed to 6.
Yeah. But thing is, we may get triplets, may get twins in my family.
Okay. I'm getting pregnant 6 times. I don't give a damn what we get. I'm going to have 6 pregs. I'm going to have and deliver babies 6 times.
No.
Yeah.
No.
If time number 3 is triplets,
we're done.
No, we're not. How do you plan on implementing us not having any more kids? That don't work. That don't always work.
Condoms.
Yeah, because that worked so well the first time. So we're gonna be 40 years old using condoms. Been together for 21 years using condoms.
Well, I'm with it.
You're gonna be a grown-ass man pulling out. Boy, you better hope your reaction times stay quick, because obviously it needs some work now.
No.
Yeah, no. Fuck it. Yeah. But yeah, that's how we found out that we were pregnant. I feel like that story was like really all over the place.
It was, but I think everybody got that.
But it's okay. We can look back and understand what was going on, right? That's what it is.
This weather is ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. That's Georgia. Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Subscribe to our channel.
And
like it. Like this video. Subscribe if you like
it.
us.
Cute little hair and
I like you. Thank you. You look cute too.
Oh, thank you. I know what you said.
You're welcome. First of all, don't look at me like a snack.
I'm supposed to look at you as
an entree. She said that it's a snack. Said it's an entree. Who said that? Cardi. You bitch won't play with Cardi. Cardi and Cardi and Rari. I love my body.